This video is to show how a 330-6050 transfiller is used to fill a small cylinder equipped with a Zeagle RaZor regulator. The first thing you do is remove the water dust cap from the male QD probe on the RaZor regulator. This probe should be dry, but if there's any water or dirt in it, use compressed air to blow that clean. Attaching the transfiller is very similar to attaching the inflator hose to your BC power inflator. The transfiller is attached to the RaZor by pulling the collar on the QD filling back and inserting it over top of the probe on the RaZor. The connection is properly made when the collar will snap in place. Test the connection to make sure it's tight. The transfiller and RaZor are attached to the filling cylinder using the yoke, just as you would any yoke regulator. The transfiller has a bleed collar. This collar must be shut before filling starts. You do this by turning it fully in either direction until you can't turn it any further. When filling the cylinder, it's important to remember not to exceed the working pressure. To do that, we'll have to view the gauge on the RaZor itself. The gauge is only connected when the knob is turned on. We'll turn the whole assembly over so you can see the gauge during fill. The fill rate is controlled by the valve on the supply cylinder. The rate of fill itself can be observed by looking at the gauge on the RaZor. After the cylinder is filled, air must be evacuated from the transfiller before it's disconnected. To do this, first turn the valve on the supply cylinder off fully, then bleed the air out of the transfiller by turning the collar until you hear the air exit. Now that the air has been evacuated from the transfiller, it's time to remove the RaZor itself. You do this by pulling the collar on the QD filling back until the probe disconnects. Next, the cap is replaced onto the probe and turned down snugly. Finally, the transfiller is removed from the valve by loosening the yoke knob and then placed in a clean, dry storage place. This completes the video on using the 330-6050 transfiller to fill your RaZor and cylinder. If you have any further questions, contact your Zeagle dealer.